My character is T-1000. T-1000 is strong and scary. His one and only mission is to kill Sarah Connor.
Come with me if you want to live.
The Terminator, I don't know the model.
T-1000, liquid metal.
If there's no Sarah Connor, then there's no John Connor to save the world.
T-1000 knows where we are.
Run!
You'll see what happens.
I've been waiting for you.
What's fun about Ant-Man is we're introducing key characters who have been in the books for years and who finally are finding their way into the cinematic universe. In the comics, Ant-Man was one of the original founders of the Avengers and one of the smartest people in the Marvel universe. That's why it really felt like it was time to find a way to make Ant-Man now.
These guys are in the business of toppling governments. To stop them, I need you to be the Ant-Man.
Oh my God!
Whoa. The suit is the mechanism that allows Ant-Man to shrink.
When you're small, you have superhuman strength.
But I can also talk to ants.
The Ant-Man puts on his ant suit, and he presses one thing. He instantaneously goes to the size of an ant, and we're in this other world.
It's not just a guy in a suit who's incredible. It's a guy in a suit and legions of ants. So there are these scenes where we mobilize armies of ants of different shapes and sizes and abilities. The most exciting part about the spectacle is all the ants and Ant-Man in action. They're amazing.
All right, guys, let's fly.
I'm getting good.
I'm getting caught.
Scott, this is your chance at redemption. It's not about saving our world. It's about saving theirs.
It starts with my character, Scott Lang, getting out of jail. Hank Pym arranged that I would steal the Ant-Man suit and then teach me how to use it.
I'm Hope Van Dyne, the daughter of Hank Pym, a no-nonsense, powerful woman.
She doesn't think that we need you.
We can do this ourselves.
So he's going to have to go through training to become Ant-Man.
You should be able to shrink and grow on a dime.
Oh, nailed it.
Hope possesses some very impressive skills, so Scott learns from her.
You want to show me how to punch? Show me.
Were you going for the hand?
She doesn't dig him, but she feels she has to do what's right. When you're small, you have superhuman strength.
I'm getting good.
It's not bad.
You can become the hero and protect the world. These men will unleash chaos. It's time to become the Ant-Man. Are you ready?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Oh my God! Ow!
What could possibly go wrong?
This year.
When you're small, you have superhuman strength, so you need to know how to punch.
Show me how. Were you going for the hand?
Heroes.
Okay, I got this.
Don't get any bigger.
Oh, that's amazing.
How'd you do that, bro? Look at you.
So coming off of Age of Ultron, which is a sprawling giant epic, we have Ant-Man, which has that same level of thrill and that same level of Marvel-style action, but at the same time is a good old-fashioned heist movie.
Unless we break in and steal the Yellow Jacket, Darren Cross is going to unleash chaos upon the world.
Hank Pym sat on this technology and this suit. Hank doesn't want that in the wrong hands.
There's a large heist element, breaking into Pym Industries and stealing secrets.
What do we need? A fake security guard on the inside, somebody else to hack into the power supply, and a getaway guy.
No, not those three wombats.
Come in.
No alarms have been triggered. He's in like the Flint.
You know that he was arrested for stealing a smoothie machine, right?
2 smoothie machines.
Oh, my Lord.
We don't have time for coddling. You have to know how to punch.
You want to show me how to punch? Show me.
That's how you punch.
Well, hey, everybody, just kick back and relax a little bit, man. We know our business.
It is a 4-man crew that Scott has reluctantly put together.
They can handle this.
Yeah, we can handle it.
You got their credentials?
He's in the system. I'm in the system? The system?
We're doomed.
Beat him. Fuck. Kill tomorrow.
Genisys is pimp tech. That's what I was about it, and then you coming in quickly after that line.
Yeah, it's like housekeeping. It's like it's not really kept. Like that's what.
And cut it! That's it, he just got fired.
Yeah, where we shot the scene.
Action!
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Give me something. Give me something.
I have glasses.
Punch in the stomach.
I have glasses. No, that's good. Like that. That's after this, yeah. So this is before that.
Don't you worry, that's coming. Okay.
Guys, can you come in and do the
mirror action?
So instead of frame white.
And action! Action! That's rapping the baddest man on Ant-Man.
Very much. And we have to.
Corey, man, here you go, man.
This is a picture wrap on Mr. Paul Rudd. before Paul talks, and I know he'll talk, I just want to say this experience working on this movie has been amazing, and the largest part of it has been you in the center of it, because if you don't work, the movie doesn't work. And I don't know, I'm going to speak for myself, I'm probably speak for a lot of the rest of you. If you know of all the movies and you ever have feeling like, oh, I feel like he'd be a great guy in real life, it's such a lifetime that you're actually that guy. So, thank you. That's officially it. That is the end, the wrap on this entirety for Airmen. Thank you all. More talented group of people. I mean, everybody is at the top of their game, everybody across the board.
The one thing that it does when you work on the script of a movie is it just gives you much more of an insight into all of the characters, because you're thinking about their motivations, you're thinking about their storylines, how every decision your character makes affects theirs. So I think that I have a much more comprehensive understanding of the story than I did when I first signed on, when I wasn't a writer on it. When the movie starts, there's something that's happening at Pym Tech, which is Hank Pym's old company that he's been chucked out of. And it's now being run by Darren Cross, and Darren has developed his own form of Pym particle, the Cross particle. And he's developed this kind of technology and this suit on his own. He's always heard about the legend of Ant-Man, and even though he's never been told by Hank outright, he's decided to pursue it. And Hank doesn't want that in the world. He has sat on this technology and he's kept it from everyone, because it doesn't even matter if it gets into the wrong hands. If it gets into anybody's hands, it's just chaos. It starts with this guy, Scott, getting out of jail because he, due to his unique skill set, was able to kind of take down a corporation and then take it a little too far. But Hank Pym has kind of singled him out. He's found out who he was and has been watching him, and sets up this scenario where I kind of have to resort to my old ways, and I wind up breaking into his house so that I can get some money to help pay some child support for my daughter, who's really the only thing I care about. it certainly has amazing action sequences, and some of the fights and things are just nuts. And then visually, there are things in this movie you've never seen before. I mean, there's some of the technology and what they're doing has never been done before. So I think that's going to be really striking. But what I hope will be the thing that really resonates with people will be, you know, what's happening with their characters and their relationships with each other. I was elated that he wanted to do the movie, and when he signed on, I was, you know, really excited. I've been able to, in my career, which hasn't really been all that long, I've been able to work with some legendary actors. I mean, like real rarefied air, and he fits in that category. So, I mean, one, I was excited to meet him. Two, I'm a fan of his. I mean, the guy is so good in so many good movies that, you know, you forget. I'd be in the middle of scenes and I'd just be like, oh my God, falling down, you know. And then the last thing was I knew how great he was going to be in the movie. Like imagining him in the part was really exciting. I mean, it's all really fun. There's, you know, when you just being able to get lifted up and they're not swung around and then you fall into boxes and then you lift back up and it's you know, it's like there's so many times during the day as you're hanging midair, going like, this is my job. This is what I'm spending the day. When you put on a costume, and certainly a costume like that, it does help with creating the character. Because you stand differently, you think differently, and especially with that, because it's like all of a sudden everything kind of the posture changes, and I just got giddy when I first started seeing it.
A lot of heroes have inhabited the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it really felt like it was time to find a way to do something different, to see an action scene in a totally different perspective, from a totally different point of view. And of course, that's why you make Ant-Man now, because Ant-Man shrinks, because through the power of the Pym particles that Michael Douglas's character Hank Pym invented, he is able to shrink down to a... And suddenly, any location, the inside of a briefcase, the inside of the playset in a little girl's bedroom, becomes an epic setting for an action battle, unlike any action movie we've ever made before, ever seen before. And what's exciting is there hasn't been a film in which characters shrink for many, many years. So the last time audiences have seen something like this, technology was very, very different. What we can do today is almost anything that we can imagine. Well, you know, one of the things that's so fun about working on Marvel films is you get to adapt the costumes from the comic books. And we've been doing it for many years now. And if you look at the way Iron Man looked in the early comics versus what he looks like now in the movies, or even the Hulk or Captain America or the details of his shield, we always want to take and respect the iconography from the comics because they're great, because the artistry that led to the creation of those comics is magnificent. But we need to always alter them a little bit to bring them into the real world, to bring them into the modern day. And with Ant-Man, we had a slightly different challenge, which was within our story, the Ant-Man suit is older. The Ant-Man suit is has a bit of a retro design to it, because as we learn over the course of our story, Scott Lang, our Paul Rudd character, steals this suit from the Michael Douglas character Hank Pym. And this was a suit that Hank Pym used for decades. Years ago. He used this suit in the 60s and the 70s up to the 80s. So and then he put it away. He hid it away for many years. So it's an older version of this costume, and that was fun too, to be able to do things that looked incredibly heroic, that felt exactly like it was inspired from the pages of the comics, but at the same time fit into that story, and you believed that Michael Douglas was wearing this many years ago. You know, when we cast any of our heroes, the bar is very high now. There are so many amazing actors playing our characters now that whenever a new one comes into the universe, they have to be great. And they have to be great not only leading their own films and carrying their own stories, but also interacting one day with our other actors. So it really is a high bar now whenever we cast people. And to be honest, there was only one choice that we had for Scott Lang, for somebody who could play this petty criminal, who could have the intelligence in committing these crimes that you would understand why Hank Pym would want to recruit him for the heist that he's going to pull, and at the same time stay very likable and be somebody who you root for the whole time. You want him to get back together with his daughter. You want him to be able to redeem himself because he seems like a good guy at heart, even though he has these skills that are best served when he's breaking into places. And Paul Rudd has all of those things. He's got the square jaw, he's got the heroics, we knew he would pull off that suit, and he's got humor, of course, which plays into all of our films, particularly Ant-Man, and he just seems like a good guy behind those eyes, and that you're going to root for him the whole time. So we were very, very lucky when we sent him the script and we talked about the role, and he absolutely wanted to do it right away, and he's awesome. Well, we wanted to, you know, with the role of Hank Pym, it's a role, he's an older man in our film, but he's somebody who had these adventures in the past. And we wanted somebody, we kept saying, let's cast somebody who is an older man, but who you really believe and knew could have done these adventures in the past. And we used to say, if we were making this movie in the 1970s, the 1980s, who would we have cast? We want to believe that this person was Ant-Man in the past, and yet today is a a stoic, aging, heroic figure in his own right who can be the mentor to our new hero. And when Michael Douglas's name came up, we were like, this is perfect. This is perfect because he would have been kick-ass Ant-Man back in the day, and he could still kick ass today. And yet Michael is willing to play a role, and even play a little older than he really is, because he's this dashing, unbelievable movie star still in real life, and we aged him up a bit for it. And knowing that he also has those heroics, has that noble sense about him. The backstory of Hank, where he really sort of put his life aside to protect the world from his own invention, and at the same time has a great sense of humor, because there are sequences in this film where he needs to train Scott Lang, who has essentially no business trying to become a superhero, and Hank Pym has to train him to be able to shrink and grow super fast, to be able to handle his own against the ants, which when you're looking up at a giant ant, it's a whole other experience than when you look down and see them crawling through the sidewalks. And Michael Douglas more than delivered. And he's just got such this iconic presence about him, and his voice, and his entire aura is very, very impressive. Everybody involved with making this movie knows more about ants now than they ever dreamed possible. And that was because there was just a tremendous amount of research done, because ants are amazing. Frankly, we could make 12 more of these films and still not actually explore everything that ants can do in real life. So there are 4 or 5 species of ants that we introduce in this movie, and that we see Scott and Ant-Man interact with. And it's incredible what ants can do. They're really impressive. Peyton Reed, our director, has done a tremendous amount bringing this movie out into the world. Peyton is somebody that I've known for almost 12 years, I think. We almost did a movie together a while ago. He was one of our top choices to do our last new original film, Guardians of the Galaxy. So when he agreed to take on Ant-Man, it was sort of a dream come true for us, because we'd come so close so many times. And he understood this character from the start. He understood this world, and what excited him is you'll never find a bigger fanboy than Peyton Reed.
It pays homage to the old one, but there's definitely little, tweaks and changes like the chest, and it's really come a long way since the old days. This is a stunt one, which is rubber.
That's great. I was honored that I was offered the role again, because we see in all the other franchises what happens. You know, if it's Batman, you know, they switch them out every 5, 7, or 10 years. With the James Bond movies, we have seen how many James Bonds have we seen in the past, right? And how many villains have we seen in the past? So they always change. But here's Terminator, it doesn't change. I'm still the Terminator 30 years later. So that was really extraordinary.
Marker.
Hey, so you're loud. But our scars define us. Our history, our defiance is written on our skin. We fight for those who have died, for those who will die tonight.
Works fine on the hit, and then we come around behind, and this fin will be on the rig. Will be
right, exactly. Yeah. But also the fast you can speed up also.
Yeah, that's true.
They were very good. They realized what was going on up there, so that they
Bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. What's that?
Good game.
Oh, we've been stealing the HDR before we get the that's cheap.
Let's just get it clear back there. We're going to do the references.
Sit down, though, next sit down.
Okay, so what we're going to do is have you walk forward in a way that marries. Okay, so we can still pick each
I had a terrific time shooting this film because, again, it's like a combination of being the powerful machine that would destroy anything that would be in my way. But at the same time, I'm playing a protector. So it really depends on what mode I'm in and how I was programmed. So you will see a combination of things in this movie.
Come with me if you want to live. Now, soldier!
3, 2, 1, action!
They're reviewing on camera right now, too.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, bugger. Let's not do the boat. But let's have the boat standing by.
And it feels good, yes.
Right, I mean, so I don't, there's no need for me to say or show.
Oh, I'm not a threat.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not a threat to you either!
No,
Like As part of, you're going to have to hand her off to him. So I thought, not yet is, yeah, I'm not watching it yet, but I know it's coming. So I think it's a natural way to get him.
Yeah.
You both see it.
Not yet.
This is property we have to drive it.
Why bother? Anyone we can do another take because of sound. Okay, I hope we're not doing anymore because of
down. This controls right and left and forward and back.
Just have to live a step in.
Jacob, can I see your position when you're looking at it? So.
Action!
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Arnold, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. As always.
To me, these things are all about how do you let people sit in the theater and kick back and just be entertained and just be surprised and just really hold on to the seats and go through a roller coaster ride, just action-wise, but also an emotional roller coaster ride. To her, I become the protector to her, and then also someone that teaches her how to be tough. And so all of the training that she gets when she grows up as a child is from the Terminator. What we did for the bus flipping scene, we did that actually in Louisiana, and we built a street that looked exactly like the Golden Gate Bridge. And this is where we set up the stunts, and so the stunts were rehearsed way ahead of time. And you know, they built a bus that can take this kind of a punishment and you know, set off the explosions and the ramps and all of the stuff, the wires, the cables, and all of this stuff. So it was really, you have to really know what you're doing, and a lot of different departments have to work together, and they've done a spectacular job because I've really never seen a bus firsthand myself flipping that far into the air and then coming down and crashing down. It was like a spectacle to see something like that. And of course, they shot it with many, many cameras, so you will see many different angles when you watch the movie.
3, 2, 1.
My character is T-1000. T-1000 is strong and scary. His one and only mission is to kill Sarah Connor.
Come with me if you want to live.
The Terminator, I don't know the model.
T-1000, liquid metal.
If there's no Sarah Connor, then there's no John Connor to save the world.
T-1000 knows where we are.
You will see what happens.
I've been waiting for you.
Pays homage to the old one, but there's definitely little, tweaks and changes like the chest, and it's really come a long way since the old days. This is a stunt one, which is rubber.
That's great. I was honored that I was offered the role again, because we see in all the other franchises what happens. If it's Batman, they switch them out every 5, 7, or 10 years. With the James Bond movies, we have seen how many James Bonds have we seen in the past, right? And how many villains have we seen in the past? So they always change. But here's Terminator, it doesn't change. I'm still the Terminator 30 years later. So that was really extraordinary.
Marker?
Hey! So you're loud. But our scars define us. Our history, our defiance is written on our skin. We fight for those who have died, for those who will die tonight.
Works fine on the hit, and then we come around behind, and this spin will be on the rig.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But also the flash you can speed up also.
Yeah, that's true.
They were very good. They realized what was going on out there, so they made a hit.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. What's that? Hold that.
Good game.
Oh, we're stealing the HDR before we get the, that's cheap.
Let's just get it clear back there. We're going to do the references.
Sit down, though, let's get down.
Okay, so we're going to have you walk forward in a way that marries. Okay, so we can open each
I had a terrific time shooting this film because, again, it's like a combination of being the powerful machine that would destroy anything that will be in my way. But at the same time, I'm playing a protector. So it really depends on what mode I'm in and how I was programmed. So you will see a combination of things in this movie.
Come with me if you want to live. Now, soldier!
Three, two, one, action!
They're reviewing on camera right now, too.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh, bugger. Let's not do the bulls. But let's have the bulls standing by.
And if first grade kids.
Forever. I mean, okay, so there's no need for me to say or show.
Oh, I'm not a threat.
You know.
Yeah, I'm not a threat to you either.
No,
As part of, you're going to have to hand her off to him. So I thought, not yet is, yeah, now it's going to get, but I know this is coming, so I think it's a natural way of connecting to him.
Yeah.
So you both see,
Not yet.
This is property and driving part.
Why bother? We can do another take because of sound.
Okay,
I hope we're not doing any more because of that.
down. This controls right and left and forward and back.
just have to live a step in.
Jacob, can I see your position when you're looking at it? So.
Action!
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Arnold, thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. As always.
To me, these things are all about how do you let people sit in the theater and kick back and just be entertained and just be surprised and just really hold on to the seats and go through a roller coaster ride, just action-wise, but also an emotional roller coaster ride. To her, I become the protector to her, and then also someone that teaches her how to be tough. And so all of the training that she gets when she grows up as a child is from the Terminator.